We are live. Hello, Sarah. I've got a song for you. I used to rule the world. The seas would rise when I gave the word. Now in the morning I sleep alone. Streets are streets that I used to own. I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field. And for some reason I can't explain, it goes to never, it's a never, never an honest word. And that was when I ruled the world. I could play that all day. I love that song.
Oh my God, is Chris Martin actually here?
No, he's not, unfortunately. But yeah, big fan of Coldplay. So thank you so much for choosing that song.
That's all right. Well, my original choice, you couldn't sing. So there we go.
Yeah, well, all these people come on and they go, oh yeah, play this, play that. I do have my limitations. So it has to be from my list. So there you go. But anyway, Sarah Farmer, this show's all about you. So go on, tell us all about you.
Oh, me. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your show. I really appreciate it and lovely to be here. So I am an executive coach and I've worked with over 500 leaders and their teams and entrepreneurs over the last 8 years, helping them achieve pretty incredible things by developing the mindset and the skills. So things like taking company value from 5 million to 30 million. I've been involved in that, which was great fun. And then down to other things like getting 4 jobs in 4 weeks. So a whole range of things that I do, but it all comes from the confidence and the skill side of things. Currently specializing and working with senior leaders and C-suite executives who are onboarding post-redundancy, who've had a bit of a knock to the system and are really feeling the imposter syndrome kick in and helping them, get over that, deal with it so they can show up and exceed their onboarding expectations. I've got a book coming out at the end of this year, which is just at beta reading stage, which is on that very topic, which is my 5-step system to taking control of imposter syndrome. Oh my God, what else? And in the future,
you have to stop there. You have to stop there. You're making me feel tired already, Sarah.
Well, I'm going for world domination. I would my world domination. I would like every single HR department to prioritize every single leader to have an executive coach with them every month, once a month, so that they can lead the way that we need people to lead in this world. And now I'll shut up.
That is a fantastic mission. I love that. No, look, I'm a coach as well. And we get a lot of stick, don't we? From people from people that don't have coaches and don't get coaches. So your clients absolutely love you, and I know that mine do as well. And it helps them with what they do. But when you talk to other people, they think, well, how can they be a coach because they haven't done this, and they haven't done that? You're sort of like
they don't get it. They don't get it.
No,
but a lot of that is fear-based. Which takes me straight into my mindset piece. But a lot of that is fear-based. It's fear of the unknown, and it's also fear of what they're going to find out. People don't like to know things. Sorry, they don't like to find out things about themselves that they don't want to know. That's all the way our brain works. We avoid the unpleasant because it means certain death. Obviously, it doesn't, but it did back in Neanderthal day. So sure. It's a lot of avoidance. And some people genuinely believe that coaching doesn't work. Do you know what? That's fine. They're not our clients. That's cool.
Yeah, that's true.
They will never be as good as the people that do believe in it. So that's cool too.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to change them as well. Anyway, I like to talk to my guests about LinkedIn and what they're doing on LinkedIn, and that's how we met.
Yes.
Because you do a show as well.
I do.
Every Monday. I do try and get there, but oh my goodness, Mondays are just not a good day for me.
Yeah, I mean, whatever day you do it on, there's always going to be days that just don't work. So yeah, I'm part of something called the Business Brunch, which goes live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, blah blah. We're all over the place, but it's mainly for LinkedIn, and that's for leaders, aspiring and inspiring leaders, so current or to be, and entrepreneurs and business owners. And there's me, there's Melinda Ward, and there's Vanessa Ashworth, and we just give away our knowledge for free. It's we're currently offline at the moment. We're doing little light bites, which expand your brain line, not your waistline, which I think is quite cool. That was a good tagline from our marketer, Vanessa. And it's just free learning and a place for people to connect and network in this what has become a very disconnected, working from home type world.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
if you haven't seen that, catch it and see what you think. It's all free.
Yeah, we love that show. We love that show. Okay, so do you use other social media, Sarah?
Not very well, no. I occasionally go onto Facebook and just end up going and just, I don't know, it blows my mind. But I really just spend all of my time on LinkedIn. And I have someone who works with me called Lorraine Issot, who's amazing. And she will then take my stuff and put it onto Instagram and Twitter and stuff. But no, I'm mainly a LinkedIn lady.
Fantastic, and a very good LinkedIn lady you are too. So
Yeah,
how much time do you spend on LinkedIn? You just said I spend all my time on LinkedIn. Do you mean all of your time? Or
no. Sometimes I work as well. So no, I don't spend all of my time there, but I do spend too much. And actually, I've just, I'm looking at ways of being a bit more careful about how much time I spend there, because it can be a bit of a black hole, can't it? Once you start, but I would say up until the summer holidays, where it gets a bit sketchy because of kids and everything else going on, I'm probably post on it 3 or 4 times a week, sometimes more, sometimes slightly less, but I'm probably on it at least an hour and a half a day.
Yeah,
that's minimum. It's very, very compelling to be on there.
Yeah, it is. I just love it. And the more I do, the more I love, and the more I see, the more I love that as well. It's just incredible.
It does get a little bit. I think we are getting drawn into it a little bit more than we need to. I think we start to believe if we don't show up, then something terrible is going to happen. And actually, I've hardly been on it, and nothing terrible's happened at all. I still exist. So there we go.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is why I do my 15 minutes a day. Because if you go on with purpose, if you do 50 minutes a day, you've done 65 hours for the whole year. Okay,
that's a lot, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And what happens is you and me, we're, I don't know about addicted to it, but just love it. But there's other people that don't quite get it. They're Facebook or Instagrammers, and they come onto LinkedIn, they have a look, and they spend, like you say, an hour or so, and think, oh, I haven't done anything, hasn't got me anything, I'm nowhere, and then they go away, and then they come back in a month or so's time, and that is only going to be 12 hours in a year. So it's just with a purpose, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a long game you've got to play. And actually, someone said to me a while ago, what business do you get from LinkedIn? I went, oh, nothing. And then I looked at it and went, actually, everyone through a dotted line has come through LinkedIn now. Everybody.
That was going to be my next question.
Oh, sorry.
Do you get business from LinkedIn? So the answer is yes.
No.
Oh.
I do. Yeah, I do. I've met all of my existing clients have come through LinkedIn. Every single one of them. And they may be people that I knew. Some people have come through connections I've known before, where they've recommended, but they've all seen me and observed what I've been doing on LinkedIn and have either liked or disliked it. And if they've disliked it, obviously they're not clients, but if they've liked it, we've started talking. So it's all come through there. It's an awesome platform if you use it properly.
Yeah, it certainly is. And it's all about building that know, like, and trust. And because you're putting yourself out there every Monday on the brunch, we start to know you. I really feel like I've got a lovely relationship with you. We've never met.
I know, it's weird, isn't it? And then when you meet people in real life, like they've got legs and arms and everything, and and they're tall or they're small, or it's really weird. But yeah, I'm like you. I feel like we've got a really nice family on LinkedIn, that there's a group of us that know each other, look after each other, and keep an eye out for each other. And that's really nice. And I know there's thousands more voyeurs that just watch. They don't do anything. And that's fine. They're the ones that eventually get in touch if they're interested in something you have to do. But you've got to be in it to win it. You've got to play the game. You've got to get involved. You've got to support other people, and you've got to be nice about it. And when you can be yourself, which I wasn't to start with at all. I was trying to be, I must be corporate, and the pictures were corporate, and I was like, oh my God, who is she? And then when people met me in real life, they were like, oh, you're like that. You're actually quite human, and I wouldn't say normal, but whatever that is. But
no, what is that?
Who cares?
I'll Google it.
Don't bother. I will not come up. But people get to know you, and it's the way that business works now. We don't go out and see each other. We do it on here.
We do a bit of both, I think. It's a bit of hybrid working. I know there's some people watching. So if you've got any comments or you want to chat with Sarah, you've got any questions, then please put them in the chat box. Okay, so this executive coach, okay. And then you talk about mindset. That is the biggest thing that business owners, senior leaders really struggle with, isn't it?
It is, and the reason is it's not talked about enough and it's not dealt with. So what tends to happen is you get brought in to teach people stuff and teach them a leadership skill and teach them that. But actually, without the mindset being right first, any action that you take after it is not going to be great. The results won't be great. So when people finally understand that mindset drives actions, which gives you results, that's when real change starts to happen. We're all full of self-limiting beliefs to some extent. We're all full of things we believe are true, which are actually rubbish, but they're just beliefs we've told ourselves. And when we can start to unpick those and understand what they are more readily, more consciously, you can start to make different choices in your behavior, which makes you better at everything you do, better at decision making, better at how you treat people, better at how you receive feedback. It changes everything. And I feel really blessed that I'm able to do both the mindset and the skills piece, because it's a really nice thing to bring together. So you offer a holistic coaching experience, which is great fun, really great fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I love coaching because you can see the difference that you're making with your clients. It's just incredible. It's a privileged position, isn't it? It's a really lovely position.
So privileged. I mean, I get sort of goosebumps, sometimes when you see something change and people come back to you and say, oh, this has just happened, and you get goosebumps. You're like, oh, you're so excited for them. And it is a privilege. They let you in, they tell you stuff they don't tell other people. And if you're good at it and you can really help people, and even if you're average, actually, it's better than nothing, but it can change people's lives. Yeah. And it's wonderful. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Absolutely. Okay, so talked a little bit about mindset. So this is a question. Can anyone be a leader, or do you have to have some sort of special qualities?
Anybody could be a leader if they were trained to be. Most people aren't trained, so they are not very good at it. And not everybody wants to be. And not everybody needs to be. So yes, you could, but what's missing is the training and the development and the support to do it. And also many people are pushed into a leadership position because they think they should. It's the next thing to do. Their sales are so good, or they've been good at team leading, and they don't want to do it, but they don't feel able to say no because they think they're failing. So yeah, you can, but is it right for you? Not necessarily. It's a hard job. It's a hard job. And self-leadership is the first thing you have to learn. And that's the one thing that isn't getting taught soon enough.
Yeah, I think we need to have a chat. So you also talk about imposter syndrome. Okay. And this is, I don't know of anybody that doesn't have it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I do know of one person, and that one person is, I'll just say obnoxious. I often think, oh my God, yeah, I shouldn't be doing this. I can't do this. I shouldn't be charging that, whatever. So that is imposter syndrome.
It is, so in the book, I describe five levels. That's my 5. And level 1 is severe imposter syndrome, which is crippling, to the point where people literally are so in fear of everything, they don't do anything. Then there's kind of this humble plus, which is a bit beyond humble. It's a bit like what you're talking about, is it keeps you in check. And it might stop you from doing things like charging what you're worth and stuff like that. And then there's this utopic state, which is not no imposter syndrome, but low. So I have that most of the time. Sometimes I can dip into humble plus, which is, I do think, and I do check myself, and I do think, oh God, should I? But I do it anyway. So I find a way to do it anyway. And then on the other side of that, you've got overconfidence and extreme overconfidence. It's still imposter syndrome, because imposter syndrome is, to me, it's anything that stops you being your best self. And being overconfident or narcissistic stops you from being your best self. So I still class that in my 5.
Right. Okay. Okay. So we want to be in the middle,
You want to be in
spot,
this. You want to be in this utopic state more than not. And it's not. People go, "Oh, can I ban imposter syndrome from my life and just be there all the time?" No, you're human. Shit happens. So if you can be there 10% more, 20% more, you'll achieve more. Things will feel better. You will be healthier. You'll be more financially secure. Because when you learn how to be there more often, amazing things happen. And if you dip to one side or the other, that's okay. But if you're right over in these extremes, I'll go over that. I don't tend to work with those people, because they have very different needs, and they don't float my boat at all. But when you're somewhere wanting to get into the middle and you're close by, that's really my bag.
Yeah, that makes a lot.
Aiming to be there more, not all the time.
Yeah. So okay then. So what would you say to somebody who is, charging, I don't know, let's say, I don't know, £100 a month for their service, and everybody else is charging 110, 120, but they offer so much value, they should be charging 150. How would you start working with somebody in that position?
You're asking for a friend.
I'm asking for a friend. No, because I work with an awful lot of accountants and bookkeepers.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And they really, really struggle because what happens is they think it's a race to the bottom. And so they price their services, and it's at those sorts of levels, and it might be double that, but the disparity between one and the other isn't too big, and you're sort of like, well, someone else is charging that, and you give this, and you give this, and you give this, so why aren't you charging more?
It's not about, the thing is, it's not about the money. It's never about the money. It's all about how they view themselves in the world and in the picture that they're in. And until they start to value themselves and what they have to offer and the results that they achieve for people, it doesn't matter what the price is. They'll never be as good as the best. So I mean, a lot of coaches will start going, "Oh, I couldn't charge X amount per session." And then after a couple of years of realizing the difference it makes, if you're helping a company go from 5 million to 30 million, what would you charge for that? What is it worth? What is it worth to them?
A couple of million at least. A couple of million at least, isn't it?
A lot of money. Oops, I didn't get a million. But the thing is, you have to believe you can do that, and then put value on what you're going to gain for them and have the confidence to achieve it. And whilst you're doing all of that, people are buying into you because you are giving off this utopic state of confidence, but not overconfidence. Is, I've got your back. I can do this with you. I'm going to help you achieve what it is you want. A lot of them also haven't thought about what they're trying to achieve in life. There's so many bits to it, but it starts with they're not believing themselves and what they have to offer enough yet.
Yeah, and I love the way you say "yet," because that's what I say. I use that phrase a lot.
Yeah,
because until you do something, you don't know what it is. Roger Bannister, I don't know if you ever talk about him. But
I know the name. Remind me.
He's the guy that ran the 4-minute mile.
Okay.
Before he ran the 4-minute mile, it could not be done.
Yeah.
Man cannot run that fast. Okay. And when I say man, I'm talking human.
Yes.
But as soon as he did it, it was the record was broken again quite quickly afterwards. It wasn't like 30 years. It was within weeks, I think. I don't know the true story. But if he can do it, so can I.
And marginal gains start to come in, though, don't they? Like fractions of seconds. But if you believe you can't, you absolutely won't. You're right. Yeah. If you believe you can, there's a chance you will. So I always go with, well, which one are you going to feed your brain? Because your brain takes in what you tell it. It's listening to you all the time. If you're saying, "I'm crap, I can't do this, I shouldn't," it believes you. Yeah, so my choice is different. Is you're not crap, you're great, you can do this, you can. And even if I can't in the end, at least I've had fun trying. But most of the time you find people can.
Yeah.
You know, most things are within reason possible. But this brain is taking you down a path, you're telling it where to go. So just be careful what you're feeding it and choose carefully what's going in there.
Yeah. Well, but just think about our lifetime. Yeah. But you know, when we were at school, I'm not sure about yourself, but there definitely wasn't computers in my school when I was at school.
There was right towards the very end.
Yeah. But you know, if someone had sat down to you and I, and said that you'll have something like this, a mobile phone, yeah,
Oh, never.
and it'll be able to do this and this, and you've got the internet and you can talk to it and it'll tell you all this stuff, that's impossible. That'll never happen. You know, that was a bit like watching Star Trek, and you know, they used to have videos on there where,
Yeah.
But if you start thinking like that all these things that have happened that could never have happened, you know, cures for cancer, flying to the moon, you know, Elon Musk and all the amazing things he's done, it's anything is possible.
It's the difference between a growth and a fixed mindset, isn't it?
You know, that's what you work on as well, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. If people aren't willing to grow and expand their mind, you can't teach them anything. They can't learn because they're stuck in a rut. So, and the people that think like that do better. Sorry, not the ones that are stuck in a rut, but that have this growth mindset do better than those that don't every single time. And it's not that they don't ever do well, but to be consistently doing well over time, your brain has to be in a different place. You know, you need that consistency. And a lot of people find that very hard on their own. I do. I have a coach. In fact, I have several at the moment doing different things. And I have a support network. And I'm not embarrassed to say that sometimes I feel like an imposter. Whereas most of my clients will go, don't ever mention my name. Because it's akin to being stupid or something. And actually it's not. It's just normal human behavior. And it's about confidence, and we could all do with more of it.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Not so much that we become vile.
Well, yeah, like this person I'm thinking of. Anyway, I was listening to a podcast the other day that this lady does, and she's absolutely brilliant, amazing. She's actually been on my show as well, and she talked about imposter syndrome. And how on earth can you have imposter syndrome? You know, and like you say, and I've just got it from you. You're an imposter syndrome specialist, and you recognise that you have it at times. So
it's just a pattern of behaviour and thoughts that sometimes try and stop us from achieving what we really could. And it comes from a load of misinformation that's been fed into our brains from the day that we're born. And until we figure out what is the thought pattern to say, I can't do this, or I shouldn't, or I wouldn't, it's very difficult to stop it. Mm-hmm. But we have more control over that than we realize. And when we get control over it, crazy things happen. Good, crazy things, not bad. And it's just so liberating.
Yeah, absolutely. Quick little story for you. We've already discussed my music and what have you. I run an open mic because I don't know if you know what an open mic is.
It means I can come and sing on it.
Yeah, it's like karaoke, but you've got to be able to play a guitar or what have you, or a piano or whatever. And so one of my friends, I said, look, we've got open mic, why don't you pop down? So she popped down with her husband, and I'm not sure they're married yet. Anyway, they popped down, and I said, you're going to come up and sing. And she said, oh, I'm a little bit shy. She fronts a rock band. Okay. this lady fronts a rock band. She is a rock chick. She is super cool. But she'd never done anything with me, so therefore it was out of her comfort zone.
Well, it's new, it's different.
Yeah. So anyway, she's chatting to me, and she says, I don't know why I do this, because my dad told me I couldn't sing when I was a kid. And I'm sort of like thinking, why do you do that to your kids? So this poor lady has gone through life knowing she can't sing. And so when I ask her to jump up and sing a song with me, she just goes into not full meltdown, not full meltdown. And she was absolutely brilliant, because I play that song in a different key. So I started playing it, and she started singing. She, this isn't right. So we're fiddling around, and the room's full of musicians. So somebody came up with the mobile phone with the different chords on. So I played it in the key that was right for her, and she absolutely nailed it. It was brilliant. We got another friend on a little drum banging behind me. I felt like I was a rock god, because all I was doing was playing the guitar, and she was just being awesome. But she can't sing. Well, that's what her dad told her.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same thing. You know, my sister was the singer and the actress. I couldn't sing or act, and actually, I'm one. You know, I act up all day, and I can sing. May not be brilliantly, but I can sing. But you grow up believing all of these things, and it's rarely done with any malice, rarely. But
No, it's just a throwaway comment, isn't it? But
throwaway
we remember those when we're
Well, our
kids and our
brains,
brains are developing.
yeah, they're malleable. They're taking it all in, and then we go looking for proof that that's right, to make it right, and then
Yeah.
it gets embedded, and then it's hardwired, and then we get to 30, 40, 50 years old, and we're so hardwired, we're like, no, but I can't because I mustn't. And
Yeah.
that's where we come in as the coaches and start to unwire that, break it down, create new wiring, and new things happen then.
No, absolutely fantastic. So how can anyone work with you? How do we get hold of you? How do we get to work with you,
So
Sarah?
I do have a website which you can go to, but best is to DM me on LinkedIn.
Why, you ever on LinkedIn?
Never, no. But yeah, either go to my website and send a request form in through there just to have a chat. So I do 15-minute, you know, just introduction chats.
I love the branding.
15 minutes, yeah, 15-minute now. Just 15 minutes. But then there is a longer one. I do a coaching discovery action session, which is 45 minutes, where we go into a bit more detail. Both of those are free to see, because it's really important, as you'll know, you've got to be able to work together, haven't you? And see that I can help you. I'm the right person to help you. But I've got programs that I run, Eagle Development Program, which is all about the mindset piece. And then I work one-to-one with clients as well. But that is currently fully booked, which is wonderful. But there'll be some space coming up in that for next year. So yeah, if you're interested just to discuss more, then get in touch via LinkedIn or via my website.
Fantastic. So we've gone over our 15 minutes.
I thought we might. Too expressive, having a chat.
Oh my goodness. And I could chat to you for all day. It's absolutely super. I just want to, before I ask you my very final question, okay, I'm just going to go in and let everybody know who I've got coming next week.
Okay.
And so literally, we were just doing this before we started, weren't we?
Yeah.
Who I had supposed to be coming in can't make it, but fortuitously, Simon Young's going to be on my show next week. Now, Simon Young knows everything there is to know about YouTube. I cannot wait to have a chat with him. I heard him on a podcast last week, or maybe even this week, and we've already connected. He's an amazing guy. I had a little chat with him. He said he's going to come on my show, and I said, that's fine. It won't be till October. And then something happened. So he will be here next week. So that's going to be so much fun. Find out a little bit more about that platform. But my last question to you, Sarah.
Yes.
What tip would you give your 16-year-old self?
Well, it would have to be stop trying to fit in.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah, we do it. We do as 16-year-olds, don't we?
The thing is, I very much stood out for all the wrong reasons, but I tried. I kept trying, and I was worrying about fitting in. So stop worrying about fitting in. Just be you and embrace the you-ness.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Is that a word? I don't care if it's not. It is now. It is now, Sarah. Sarah, it's been an absolute delight. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
And we didn't get any comments today, but there's people. I know there's people watching. So obviously,
well, hello, if you're watching.
Wrapped with what we had to say. So lovely to see you, and cheerio, everybody. Bye bye.
Yeah, thanks, Ashley. See you soon.